All right, welcome to Blockchain Basement. My name is TJ. Sorry, we're running around trying to get all this stuff, all the people rounded up. We are going to be joined here shortly by Frankie Candles. We got Decker Bobbin joining us here again today for the episode. The one and only Crypto Taco, our NFT consigliere, so to speak. What's up, Chemistry Bro? What's up, Yummy Doodles? Manowalk, Razmataz, Raven Boy Crypto, Mike Drill. We've got Ali, the beautiful Ali Lee here with us today. Your favorite neighbor, Drew, on the board over there. Crypto prepper for all of you that need to know what you need to do to be prepared for the World Economic Forum's takeover. Just follow Drew and he will get you prepped. So I'm following him too. So hey, look, guys, we don't want the world to be taken over by, the Powell speech in 5 minutes. Yeah, that is true. We will talk about that a little bit today. What do you know, if anything, Drew, about the Powell speech coming up? Where's Biscuit Jesus? He's upstairs. He's working. If you guys aren't subbed to the new ATB channel, go and do that right now. He's up, Biscuit Jesus, aka BJ, upstairs working on the new graphics, look and feel, merge integrations for shows not brought to you by Bang, but I'm OCD, so I want the label to face forward. He's upstairs working on the new ATB graphics and merges and all that kind of stuff. So coming in January on that new channel, we will have some cool new bells and whistles with the Around the Blockchain show. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Blockchain Basement. So if you guys are following us on Twitch, please ask your questions in the chat. We really like it to be interactive. Love the basement dwellers down here. Yeah, free marketing. Yeah, it is free marketing for now. But anyway, the Powell speech, he's starting in about 4 minutes, 1:30 Eastern time, probably to update on jobs report, that sort of things. Do you know anything about that so far, Drew?
Yeah, I've been following it. I've seen a few Federal Reserve governors come out and hint that 75 base points is not off the table just internally in their talks. So, but on the other hand, we have a lot of macro indicators showing that they have to implement a degree of pivot closer to the 50 points or 25. I think it's going to be 50 points.
I agree.
It's not going to be anything exciting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I tend to think it's going to be exactly what we're all anticipating. We know. I don't think he's not announcing the point raise today. No, that's I think on the 15th or 14th or something like that. It will be, I think 50 basis points will generally mean more pain for traditional or general markets around the world. So 150. Wow,
That would be sick.
That would be brutal. Euro is so weak that we only need 50 right now. Yeah, I agree. Euro, and that was something I think we're going to look at that today. The European Central Bank saying Bitcoin's on its last dying gasp. And I think I'd be willing to wager at least one Bitcoin that Bitcoin will be around longer than the Euro, or after Euro will be gone and Bitcoin will still be here, 100 years from now, 50 years from now, something like that. So, let's see, ECB saying that is bullshit. I agree. It is. It's basically, I shared something. DZ and I talked about it a little bit this morning on the morning show that when there's I don't know the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of when a man's salary depends on him not understanding something, it's very hard for him to understand it. And I think that's part of what we experience with the European Central Bank and some of that kind of stuff. But real quick, I saw this last night, and I was realizing this show should just be called TJ's Twitter because it's just random stuff I see on Twitter that we come down here to talk about. But saw this on Twitter last night. I thought it was pretty good. We'll talk about crypto wrapped. So it says, my crypto wrapped goes hard this year. Your portfolio went down 98.7%. You got rugged 69 times. You spent $36,873 on gas fees, and you avoided 5 bankruptcies. Congratulations. So tell me,
a real thing?
What's that?
Is this like something that you can put
I
your
wish.
Oh, it was just a joke.
No, I think if it's not, somebody should, like you link your address to it or whatever. Maybe Vimeo could do this in the future. Add like, hey, here's your 2022 NFT trading review wrapped. Oof. Well, if you lose that wager, TJ, that one Bitcoin. Yes, exactly. That's smart betting right there, riddled with puns. There's a reason. There's a reason I'm here.
Something like this. Like you put in your address for like your OpenSea transactions, and it tells you how much gas. Mm-hmm. And when I looked, I almost threw up.
Yeah, well, that's really why I wanted to bring this up. I wanted us to kind of go around the room. Obviously, this year, 2022, has been the fall from base. I mean, I think we were at all-time highs November. So we'll call it from November to November. These last 12 months, year in review, it's been brutal. We've experienced, like I said, multiple bankruptcies, multiple collapses, multiple third parties. Custodians going under. So I just wanted to take a second. I know it's not December yet, not end of the year yet, but 12 months from all-time high, roughly. Wanted to go around the room and do the year in wrapped. I would be willing to wager most people in the audience have something, maybe not down 98.7%, but have had an experience similar to what that was, even though it was a joke. So Taco, what would you say your year 2022 crypto year in review was like? You said you spent a lot on gas.
Yeah, back when Gwei was $300, $400, $500, you spend $200-$300 just on a mint, and if you mint 8 NFTs and you spend that much on gas, man, it really adds up. And multiple projects, all of them are minting in these really high Gwei gas environments. So yeah, I think I spent something like 6.5 ethereum just on gas.
Wow.
That's why I'm telling you, I almost threw up when I saw that.
Yeah, Chemistry Bro said he spent more than 5 ETH on gas, he thinks. Yeah, so that's, in today's, even at $1,200, that you're talking 5 ETH is over $6,000. So you said 6.5 ETH, you're talking 7-8K on just gas for NFTs.
Yeah, and the rest of my portfolio, my crypto, I was pretty, I wouldn't say lucky, but I made some good moves. I was able to take out profits near the top, and I got locked out of my Coinbase account during pretty much the fall. I think the first initial fall, before we got to 69K Bitcoin. And yeah, so I think my overall portfolio is probably down like 50%.
Yeah. What about you, Decker?
Oh, yeah. So I will be one to admit that I caught like all the falling knives, like 37K Bitcoin, 27K hands, Bitcoin. I was really buying Kusama, ouch, a lot of different speculative things, but I still think I am a bit lucky. But year to date, or not year to date, I guess November to November, the time frame we're talking, I think it's like 45% down.
Okay.
Which
ahead of the market
hurts, but well, yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it, but it's not 80%.
Yeah,
down,
it's true, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, I took some ETH profits, but to be honest, ETH is the only thing that really treated me super well last. But then again, that was what I was in. So
yeah, Manowalk said I got scammed out of 30K for land in the metaverse. Had the wrong dealer. Let's see. I long for being down 98% again. Drew, what about you? Your year in review, how do you feel?
I feel excited to feel like buying crypto again. I have not bought crypto in a long time. Well, I DCA like slightly into small projects, but basically I did all my borrowing in March of 2020, and I really don't think I'm down too much, honestly. And I didn't spend that much on Ethereum gas because I saw the gas fees and I was like, this is taking away a lot of the profit margin. So that's kind of what pushed me away from a lot of the Ethereum based projects was just the gas fees. So I kind of avoided a lot, and I'm just kind of a buy it if you believe in it and sit on it long enough to make money from it. So that's basically what I've been doing. I haven't lost. I bought Bitcoin at 6K, Ethereum at 200, 300, and XRP at 17 cents, and I still have the same bag. So I'm feeling all right.
There you go. All right. Let's see. They said the Fed speech is starting now. I wish I should have had that pulled up. Let me see if I can see. I don't. It's gonna be super boring to watch, but
watch that dinosaur.
yeah. But here you go. This is what it is, guys. If you don't want to know, you can go to federalreserve.gov. You know, here it is. It's starting right now. I mean, if we had more time, we could watch this whole thing. But
I think that's the November 2nd one. It looks like.
Is this? Oh, you're right. It is the November.
Yeah.
Well, dang it. It says live video.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, anyway, this is the website you can find it. I'm not going to dig around on it right here, but this is where you can go hear what he says. And I'm sure we will. The more interesting thing will be to pull up TradingView and see if we get immediate movement on this. So let's see. We are sitting Bitcoin 16,832 right now. Let's see if we start to get some dramatic movements here pretty quick. What is this basic chart?
Yeah, that's weird.
It came out weird looking.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I was watching Crypto Face's stream last night. He was thinking we'll get up to like 18,000 or maybe 18,500 Bitcoin, and then we'll get rejected.
Today?
Last night.
Yeah, last night he was streaming.
Remember I said he had 800 million long?
Yeah. No, I know, but what he was saying, he thought the price would get to 18,500
in like
last
a
night.
week. In like the next few days to a week.
Gotcha.
It's been a while since we've seen Face go long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
And that's what Frank was talking about today. When you see that, that is reassuring. And we've seen a lot of bullish divergences. Frank was talking about it yesterday and today on the live stream. A lot of things shaping up a lot better. So it could, I think there's a pretty good chance the bottom is in. We had a Q&A from Riddled with Puns. He said to the whole panel, if everybody in the group, if you could describe crypto or your year in crypto in one word, how would you describe it? We'll start with Allie.
Oopsie.
That's good.
All right, Decker.
Roller coaster is the first thing that I was thinking.
Great word. Taco?
Resilience.
And Drew.
Shake out.
My word, there's a lot. The first words that came to my mind, first word was dramatic, volatile, and opportunity. That's what I'll say is, so you wanted one word, I gave you three. So there you go. What do you guys think about XRP delisting? Will it eventually affect the price? The wallet delisting, that's from Joseph Cupidor. I think, will it eventually affect the price? Not really. It's been I think it got delisted off Coinbase like a year plus ago when a lot of this stuff started with the SEC. So I don't think it's gonna have a big impact. Yeah, put your word in there too. I'm seeing boring. That's gonna be next year's sticker.
Opportunity. That's a good one.
Yeah, opportunity from
Thatch Nasty.
Razmataz said nope. Mr. Techno Goody, one word. What? Oh, that's perfect. That's the right answer. WHAT happened. TJ always the over. Oh, I thought you said overreacher. Okay, yeah, overachiever.
With 3 words.
Yeah. It's just a talker. I just talk too much. I can't commit to. That's true story. I have a very hard time committing with one word, like favorites and like, oh, this or that. It's like, well, I like both of these things. I like this one this way. But anyway, Razmataz said learning, chaotic, watching with the Empire theme in the background really sets the mood.
And you can see yourself in the
Yeah, too. Like, yeah,
right behind you.
TJception.
Yeah, watching because I'm watching myself on TV, and that's why I really enjoy doing the show because I get to see myself in full size the whole time.
Yeah, it is pretty nice.
The velocity of this year, though, has been. I want to add a word: exciting. I'm excited to buy again. I've been sitting here just watching it, waiting for a correction, and I'm honestly glad to see it come. When it originally first took off, I felt like, man, I wish I would have bought more at that moment in time. And I had to be patient, and here we are. So hopefully I can make something of it.
Yeah, well, and this is I agree 100%, and I think next year we're gonna have even more opportunity. I think my year for next year, if it's anything like what 2019 was, boring, and so and it will, but will still provide a lot of opportunity for those of you who are dollar cost averaging in or just slowly buying with that extra money. You should, in theory, have plenty of time to do that in the next year if we follow similar market cycles. So on that note. This is a thread I saw last night. It came up. I thought it was pretty interesting. It intrigued me. I made $500,000 selling $1 bills for $15 each. The crazy thing is people are still doing this today. Here's what I did. And before we dig into it, obviously that's like, wait a minute, how do you sell a dollar bill for $15? That's something. But it kind of got me thinking about creative ways to make money in a bear market or to make extra money. I know, Drew, you mentioned a fence business.
Yep.
And so, and tell people, what is it you do that for? Or what is, basically you do.
Yeah. So I was already working 2 jobs. And I put in time to build a fencing business. It was a skill that I had from when I was younger. I knew exactly what tools I needed. It had a low upstart cost. And basically I would just work on the weekends or after I got done with whatever shift during the day. It was a lot of hard work, but it paid off immensely because I was trying to hold on to really expensive real estate at the time that I had gotten a hold of before the COVID crash. So I had to diversify my skill set out of HR and basically spread it out. I started my own fencing business, and I took 2 different roles with security companies to also enhance those skills and abilities. So I think that it was really the lifeboat that I had, not only keeping me busy during the downturn and keeping my mind occupied, but then also giving me a really good amount of dry powder to use at the right times, which ended up helping quite a bit in the long run.
Hey, we're getting a surprise visit or a late addition. Mr. Cavs himself, Frankie Candles, coming from next door, teaching
Welcome,
everybody the
Frankie.
sauce in
What's going
BitLab
on,
Academy, showing everybody how to use those new indicators and stuff. So thank you. Thanks for joining us, Frank. The audience was clamoring for you the entire time. The only thing it said in chat is, where's Frank? Where's Frank? Where's Frank? Well, guys, here he is.
That's what I like to hear, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, Candle Mafia always loves the Frankie Candles, and we love having you here. So real quick, we were about to move on, but we were doing Crypto 2022 year wrapped. I lost the graphic where it was a guy that said like, I'm 98% down. I got rugged 69 times. I paid $38,000 in gas fee and afforded 5 bankruptcies. So real quick, in a quick recap, how would you say your November, all-time high to now, kind of 2022 November to November? How would you put that in a couple words?
All-time high till now. I'll say, listen, I got into crypto in like 2016, 2017. I think it was probably 2017. So this was like my first bull run that I was actually somewhat prepared for. So I would say it went pretty good. I did. We've been, I liked going into the bear market knowing what to expect. Like, I know we talk a lot about like, hey, like, I don't know if this really feels like the bottom yet. And then it's like, it's just cool to see, like the development of a bear market. And the one thing that I will say was a huge win was the fact that when we came into the bear market, it was like, it almost felt like it was another bull market because we were just shorting the thing on the way down. So it just completely changed everything for this bear market. It was much more enjoyable than the last one. And hopefully it's coming to an end pretty soon here. So
What if you could say it in one word?
One word. Oh God. Chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah.
That was a great word. We saw that one in the chat. So and that's a really good, guys, if you were listening, this is why you need to follow Frankie Candles. If you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel or all of his socials, make sure to check him out because you can make money in Bitcoin trading whether the price is going up or when the price is going down. That's why we put so much energy into trading. That's why we're going to be talking about it a lot next year, is because knowing how to work when the price is going down versus up obviously is a great skill to have, and it will allow you a lot of opportunities because yes, Bitcoin is generally moving up. 3 out of the 4 years in the cycle, it is moving up. Doesn't feel like it for one of those years because it's moving up probably much lower than where money people bought at the peak of the bull market. But generally speaking, it's down for 1 year, up for 3. We just went through the dramatic down period. Hopefully next year will be a slow grind up. And then we move into 2024, 2025 when we're all buying yachts and boats again and we can all retire and, when it all gets fun again. So, but okay, back to the story. So if next year is a long and boring bear market, there will be a lot of opportunities to be buying in and to be buying in at decent prices and accumulating. And like what Drew mentioned, that fence building business is a great way to, it's a side hustle to come up with some extra cash to get good entries. And so when I was reading this, it just kind of, I'll spin through it pretty quick. And I think it's just a good story to inspire people, because so often when I talk to people, they say, oh, you know, like, I can't start. I have to. They basically, everybody thinks they have to come up with a new invention, a crazy new idea, reinvent the wheel in order to start a business. You don't. You just have to look at a business that's functioning well and try to do something as good or better. Like you know, you don't have starting a fence business. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're digging some holes and you're putting some posts in. Yep. You just got to be able to do it for a more competitive price than the other guy.
Yep.
Or provide a better service.
Right. And most companies only do new fences. I saw that very few did repairs. So that's what I dug into, and that was
interesting.
My specialty, you know.
And there's a lot of good books. I mean, if you guys are business people, there's one like Red Ocean, Blue Ocean, or something like that that talks about blue ocean opportunities versus red ocean opportunities, which is exactly what Drew was talking about. Not a lot of people were doing repairs. That was an opportunity to where he could have a market advantage and do, you know, and compete, have less competition in that market. So anyway, it's worth looking into. And this one really got me thinking, because it's using the internet, it's being early on something, and there's a lot of things in Web3 that will provide opportunities just like this. So he says, when I was 15 years old, I was young, poor, and ambitious, desperately looking for ways to make money. Somehow I came across someone selling a Michael Jordan $1 bill on eBay. So you can see here, it's a $1 bill with Michael Jordan in the middle, just a novelty. He said, this intrigued me, so I looked into the seller's other items for sale. All they sold were $1 bills with pictures of famous people on them. They were selling hundreds every week. I purchased one of these $1 bills, and when it arrived, I quickly realized I was going into the dollar bill business. The dollar bill was nothing more than a normal dollar bill with a sticker paper over top of George Washington. That night, I went to Office Max, bought sticker paper, and boom, I was in business. I saw someone else making a killing selling $1 bills. I said to myself, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's exactly what I did. I was now in the dollar bill business, and business was really good, especially for a 15-year-old. Over the next 12 months, I went on to sell an average of $100 bills per day. An average of 100 $1 bills per day.
Wow.
I sold them for an average price of $15, each included shipping. For every dollar bill I sold, I would profit around $10 after all expenses. I became the largest seller of custom novelty collectible dollar bills on eBay. I ran that business for a while until more competition showed up and the margins and sales dropped. And that's an important thing. A lot of people that are creative money makers on the internet, they use a lot of different strategies. They do it for a while when it's hot. They exploit some opportunities within a new platform. And then when it gets oversaturated with competition, you move on to something else. So he said, here's one trick I used that doubled my sales on eBay. I would message everyone who didn't win the auction and offer it to them for their highest bid. At the time, you could see everyone's highest bid and message them. I was able to double my sales by doing this. Again, he's using something within the platform that other people aren't, and just because he's got more hustle, he's able to double his sales. Could someone still do this? Yes, there are people doing the exact same thing today. Here are a few examples. Started my first business age 13, but anyway, I just wanted to highlight that because I thought it was a very good example of, this is a 15-year-old kid, and these are some of the people that are going to be profiting the most in Web3. We'll talk probably a little bit more later in the week about decentralized social media. It's something I'm seeing coming up in some different trends, things that I read. I mean, we know SoMe we've invested in, and and then there's this thing called DeSo, DESO. If you guys want to look into that, we'll probably read about it a little bit more tomorrow. It's got some pretty big investments from some major players. But there's going to be and that is basically, that's Web3, right? You've got NFTs, you've got social applications, you've got different play to earn, fit to earn, or what do they call it? Move to earn, and all those sorts of things. But you don't have to just engage with those. You can come up with your own little hustle, to make extra money and to buy. Just saw your video pop up, Frankie. Hey.
Do you know what that dollar bill story reminds me of?
What's that?
Saw a video of this company selling rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't just like, oh yeah, here's a rock. They had like really nice packaging. It like identified what the rock was. And I believe it was like an NFT. So essentially, if you kept it in the case and you were able to like identify it on the blockchain, that's how like you would be able to resell it. If you took it out of the case, it just turns into a regular rock. But still, they're selling rocks.
Interesting.
Well, there's all sorts of things you can do to be creative to make money, and that was basically just what I wanted to encourage people for next year. Especially, we got people screaming recession, recession, recession. There's going to be pain. There's going to be blood, and if that is the case, I don't want you to be discouraged. Just realize there's opportunities out there to make a couple extra bucks, maybe $1,000 a month, something like that. If you can make a little extra money, start putting that into real assets, Bitcoin, real estate, other coins that you think are going to do well. That's the best way to climb out of a recession and to fight inflation, is to put money in real assets. So I just wanted to give you guys that encouragement. That's a strategy I had used in the past. Last bear market, I would get I would do anything I could do to make money. And bonus, if you can find a way to do it in the crypto industry. And that's what I would really recommend a lot of people to do. Reach out, offer. Look, if you've got a pretty easy cush job, you're working 40 hours a week and not much more, like you've got a lot of extra bandwidth on your hands, reach out to people and say, hey, these are my skills. What do you need? Can you apply it to, or I would say, take your skill set, look at somebody that's doing something and make them an offer for, hey, I could do X, Y, and Z for this amount, and it would help your business, and it would give me extra money to invest in crypto. And I think that's a really good strategy to employ, I guess. So has anybody else done? I mean, did you ever do anything like that, Decker? Or you were 16 when you started getting into crypto, right?
Yeah. But when it comes to the side hustles, I feel like I'm really lacking, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Like when it comes to, high school, and I just played a lot of sports. And to be honest, I honestly don't even remember where I heard about crypto, but it was through XRP. I heard the word XRP and I heard the word Ripple, and I said, that sounds cool. Yeah. So then I looked at it and saw it was 12 cents, and I said, that sounds cheap. And I didn't know about the market cap thing. And so at that time, I wasn't really thinking about side hustles. Now I am, but I'm also kind of trying to build a little bit more of my skill set before I don't want to go tackle something on the side that I don't have the skills for.
Absolutely.
I have a really good idea for you, Decker.
What's up?
And I think you have these skills already. Can't you build Discords?
Well,
basic Discord builds.
Yes, I can. I mean, yes, very good point. Yeah. And it's something that I honestly... It's the motivation. I'm
not trying to push you to get all your bandwidth. I want it coming towards Hit Network. But for those of you in the audience, that's a great example. Building Discords for people, or taking some of the skill sets that and saying, like, look, I'm really good at Discord. I can set up all these features. I can add all these, bots. And because there's a lot you can do with Discord. Chemistry Bro, potentially. You never know. I like you. I'll say that much. That's a good start. Real quick, did want to pull up. It looks like we are moving up in a positive direction. 16,922 now on the Fed minute. So I know this is just the 15-minute chart here. So this nice little candle here is moving us in the. It looks like these are your lines, right?
Yeah, so that is a bull flag. So probability-wise, that would break up more often than it would break down. So if this continues up, again, that value area high, that white box right above that bull flag, if we get out of there, things could get pretty interesting pretty quick, because we have a pretty big volume gap up there. So next level to watch would be 17,580 if we break out of there. Also, I just realized everybody in the chat was like, wow, Frankie, that was a lot of words. You told me to explain that in like 2 words, didn't you? And I just...
No, it's fine. No, it's cool. We did it both ways, so I don't mind. We all went around and kind of explained it in a lot of words, and then they had the follow up. Can you do it in 1 word? So no, you did great.
Explain it in 2 words. Just go on to my life story.
No, it's perfect. No, that's what this is about, man. It's the basement. It's casual. Right. It's relaxed. Like, we're not supposed to be too worried about it. So,
someone asked who that guy's Twitter was.
Which guy?
Talking about the dollars, I think. Mark Jenny at Mark Jenny, Jenney.
Oh, perfect. You have it pulled up. I was gonna say I closed it. But guys, I close these tabs once I'm done with it, so like there's no going back. Once
you texted it to me last night, so that's
gone forever.
Yeah, because you asked me what I was doing. So she asked, like, hey, what are you doing right now? I'm like, actually, I'm literally in the middle of reading this Twitter thread. So
it's like, check this out.
Yeah. Real quick, I know Taco, there's some news on this. Basically, there was a phone call recording of an interview with Tiffany Fong in SBF, and he made a few different statements. Just wanted you to kind of highlight. This is one of the ones that came out of it. Former FTX CEO SBF has admitted to Tiffany Fong per Cointelegraph to reopening withdrawals for local Bahamian citizens without authorization, as he didn't want to be in a country with a lot of angry people. There was a lot of other things he said in that interview as well that were like, I have my thoughts on why he's saying what he's saying, but what were some of the other takeaways from that interview, Taco?
So one of them was he said he got like $4 billion of funding right after he signed the bankruptcy papers. He felt like if he never signed the bankruptcy papers, then they would have been okay. He would have been able to make customers whole.
Sure, easy to say after.
Another one was that he doesn't know how to code, and he kind of made it seem like that this is referring to like the back door that was built into FTX for them to be able to move funds without people knowing. He's like, yeah, I don't know how to code, but his business partner was like a coder.
Right.
So he kind of just threw him under the bus. He also he's pleading. He's saying that
I agree, chemistry, bro. We know he does. You got to know Python to be a good quant. Yep.
He's pretty much saying that like nothing was his fault, and he fell victim to an account that was made 4 years ago that was supposed to be funneling in users' funds. They mislabeled it, and it went unnoticed until now. And that's where all their money and their mishaps happen from, is this one account that was unlabeled, and it was just an error. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, which is just complete crap, guys. I mean, these are all lies, in my opinion. Which one of the things that really gets under my skin more than anything else is a liar, somebody who's a bold-faced liar, and that's something we've seen from him time and time again. The points he made to her are almost word for word the points he was making in his Twitter thread, and to me, it's very, very clear what he's trying to do. Every word that's coming out of his mouth right now is to build a legal case of incompetence, negligence, and disorganization, not fraud. Because one, like if you're incompetent and disorganized and you make mistakes, they don't necessarily put you in jail for that. If it's fraud and you stole people's money, you're going to jail. And so he's trying with every single word to say, I don't know, I was confused, I didn't do it, someone else did it, and it's just pure lies, in my opinion, which is consistent with what we've seen from him in the past. Just like he was saying days before they were insolvent, funds are fine, there's nothing wrong with FTX US, and then boom, all of a sudden it was all wrapped up. And so to me, he's got a very clear points that he's trying to make and convey. Talking about that account, it was mislabeled, and deposits were going that were supposed to be over the counter into FTX were always going directly into Alameda. That said, it's just because we never made another bank account. And when DZ and I were talking about this on the morning stream, it's very hard to believe complete business ineptitude and negligence when you look at the way they've structured everything. When there's so many entities and shell, like he bought the Robinhood stock in a shell company off of a loan. Like you can't do that without some pretty good accounting and tracking and keeping up with all of this stuff. And so it just doesn't add up. When you look at the actions that they were doing and the way they were protecting things, it seems clear they knew what they were doing. It seems clear this was a plan, and there's no way I can believe that he A, didn't know how to code, B, didn't have any knowledge of anything that was going on, C, completely was just it was unknown the amount of liabilities. Like it doesn't make any sense the more you dig into it. I mean, am I alone? Like, do you guys agree, disagree? Like
100% agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I double check my addresses every time I send it.
Right.
My point is, if you have an address that's having billions of dollars dumped into it, you'd think you'd be like, maybe I just want to check and make sure that's going smoothly now. And you don't discover that for a few years at a time or however long it was. I don't believe it. I mean, It's like you would catch that and go, oh crap, but now, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, I'm glad the Bahamian customers got paid back, but it's like this shows me a major disconnect from humanity that this guy has. He's only concerned about making sure that the people immediately around him won't roust him up and keep him accountable for this. But he doesn't care about the millions of other people scattered across the world that got their life savings wiped out.
He's only concerned about himself and his own safety.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's completely 100% self-invested. All of his words, all of his actions show he only cares about himself and self-preservation and his mission and his game and all that sort of stuff. So it is frustrating to me to watch. It's sad to see. But the good news is it's all out in the open now, and we are able to move forward. It's sad to see all the people that got wrecked by it, but it is the world we're living in right now. He's just trying to keep his home safe. That's it. Would throat punch his punk ass, and I didn't lose anything. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that didn't lose money, and they're still very frustrated with it. Somebody earlier, where'd it go? Mike said, dude was a smart guy, but greed got him jammed up. I would agree with some of that. I think Sam is clearly an intelligent individual, and that's the other thing that makes it hard to believe that he just doesn't know any of this stuff. He's very intelligent, and that's what gets me. I do think greed got him jammed up. I do think they thought they could keep this going longer, and I think his words that say like he thought he had $4 more billion to keep the Ponzi going, if he just like he still honestly believes in his heart, had I just raised $4 billion more dollars, everything would be fine.
Oh, another point of that interview or the video, or I mean the audio, he donated to Republicans with dark money. So, and he said this. The only reason why is so news reporters wouldn't like come after him. So like, all right, invest to both parties. Okay, they're happy. They won't come after me.
Yeah, he basically came straight out and said, I know I'd get positive press for investing in Democrats and negative press for investing in Republicans. So I publicized the fact that I invested to Democrat and I hid the fact that I invested to Republican. Basically, everything we can see, like we knew he donated on both sides with dark money. And from what we can tell, it wasn't any Republican. It was very specific Republican seats that they thought A, had a chance to flip, B, could influence digital asset regulation coming down the pike. So they were trying to buy their seat at the table in Washington to make the regulation that would supplant them as a somewhat of a monopoly here in the United States. And had they been able to pull it off, maybe it would have worked and they would have had a new Epstein character going on down there.
He was the second biggest donor to the Dems, and look who we got running the country right now. So I don't know if it was a complete failure on his end, because that money has been flowing since 2020.
Well, yeah, and he's got hundreds of millions of dollars for personal family real estate at this point, and there's a lot of this money that's just gone. That's never going to be clawed back. That's never going to be tracked down because of all these entities and all these shell companies and all this real estate. And it's just, it's a mess. So first time chatter from Darren Jada.
Yo.
I think this might be bigger than SBF. He will probably end up hanging from a towel soon. I agree this is bigger than SBF. I don't know if they can use that play so often without it getting called out, but we'll see.
I agree with that. It's like, let's wait a little longer before we pull that old trick again.
Hold on.
Corey actually said...
Tell that to Hillary.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, right. Corey actually said, I still think he's a pawn. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because that's really the scary situation that I see is that he's just the pawn. It's like they see this, this crypto nerd, so to say, and it's like, hey, we could just bully this guy into doing what we want. He's a super genius. What do you guys think about that?
I think there's some viability there. I think he maybe knows more than he's acting like he knows without being the mastermind, if that makes sense. I do think this goes above him. I do think there's reasons he was, selected, so to speak. I mean, we were talking about that even before any of this broke, that it's just kind of bizarre how they've just kind of appointed this guy as the next up and coming, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or whatever, when he hasn't, he launched an exchange. Exchange wasn't even active a couple years before it went under. So it was very bizarre that they had kind of anointed him as the crypto billionaire to represent the United States and was going all around. So there definitely seems to be some coordination here. And this is something I had noticed when we started looking into Joe and Barbara Fried. They clearly have a lot of connections. And then I like to try to where did all this money come from? They're very wealthy for professors. Is it old money? Who are their parents? It's very hard to find any information on Sam's grandparents. I only looked for a little while. There's not a lot out there. I asked some other researchers to look into it, and they said, first glance, I can't find anything, which, deems a deeper dive for sure. SBF is like, what is it? What is that?
Manchurian?
Manchurian in Iron Man 3. Yeah.
Have you heard him talk? Like, he's goofy. I mean, I don't think he's the
a clone.
mastermind.
He is. Yeah, he is definitely on the spectrum there. And that,
I mean,
I think he's pretty smart.
I'm sure he's smart, but he doesn't seem like the mastermind. Like, I agree with Corey Harden. It still seems to me like he's more of they used him to do what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, and I know DZ talked about that concept of nerd sniping, where they present problems to obviously you graduated MIT, hung out with a lot of very, intellectual people. And they've got a theory called nerd sniping, where they present something like a puzzle or a problem to wrap these people in and get them so entranced in solving the problem of, that's where a lot of this, they use effective altruism as a tool, the World Economic Forum and those type of, and Yeah, that's really where look, you want to know where it came from? The plan came from the World Economic Forum. There's a reason FTX was on the WF website. There's a reason it got ripped off of it the day this stuff broke. You know, all mainstream media is still positive, but WEF, no, we don't want them to know we were associated necessarily. So yeah, it probably goes up to that level. Unfortunately,
it totally does, and you have to look at like all the companies that have been sponsored at Davos, and I mean, it's hard to once you really start to get into World Economic Forum's, reach and control. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough thing to find, but I'm sure that we're going to be able to find it as long as we know where to look. So, shell companies, different front people, they're going to be the ones that I'm going to be trying to dig up.
Yeah, Mike said maybe FTX is planted by the elites from jump to steal the momentum and money from the crypto space. I think it could have had, I mean, it's kind of a weird, hot take here, but I think it could have had a dual front to set up FTX as the crypto, basically get the main institutional money into the crypto field to where they're profiting a lot from that exchange. But also I think they needed a replacement for what was going on Epstein Island. We know what came out of the MakerDAO guys saying there's something going on here in the Caribbean island, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, that sort of stuff. We know there's crazy money flowing in and out, and that's really what they need. They need a way to launder money. They need a way to push all this money in and make it look legitimate, and get it obfuscated and very unclear, kind of like what they do at FIFA as well. You get all these funds going all these different places, and it looks like, oh yeah, we're donating to your club for this, and this nonprofit for that, and this nonprofit for this. Slide $1 million over here for one special trip over there, and nobody knows the difference. Sounds a little dark, but I could see that being the scenario 100%, and it got foiled, and we'll just have to see what rises up next. Because if you think about everything that was happening before, like that was a huge market, right?
Right.
Basically trafficking and slavery market was massive moneymaker for a lot of people that doesn't just go away overnight. So somebody's out there doing it. Yep. But anyway, that took a dark turn.
Yeah, it took a dark turn.
Someone said earlier, their first tinfoil hat theory was that it started with Epstein's fortune. So I don't know where they got that connection, but
let's see. I've got some long chats in here. I see it's I'll tell you guys, if you don't do this at home, you don't have time to read the whole chat before you start, but it's very risky to start reading something you have no idea where it's going to go. But let's just jump in.
I got one. Do you guys think Litecoin is pumping lately, in addition to what Saylor said, also because Bitcoin miners are redirecting their ASIC miners toward Litecoin because it's so hard to be profitable with Bitcoin right now?
I think Litecoin's pumping because there he is. I think it's pumping because it has a very good chance to be classified as a commodity, and it will bode well when the new regulation comes out, which is what Michael Saylor said. So yes. What do you guys think?
I think it was mostly manipulation by Tom Crown.
Oh, I was going to say it, Tom.
Tom Crown snapped his finger, and he got his Litecoin army to buy in.
Yeah, right. No, but the ASIC thing is not a bad. That's a pretty good theory too. So a Litecoin, another proof of work project. Yeah. When your hardware because of the hash rate and the difficulty on which we actually have here, when we were looking at some of these Bitcoin mining sell-offs, when the hash rate and difficulty start peaking, you can have an ASIC, which for those of you at home that don't know, ASIC stands for application specific integrated chip, which means basically the chip in the miner is made specifically for running the SHA-256 algorithm, Bitcoin's mining algorithm. And when you can have something where the difficulty gets too high on Bitcoin, but it's not as high on Litecoin, you can just switch those ASICs that she was referring to from Bitcoin to Litecoin, start mining it. There you go. Litecoin is script SHA-256. They aren't the same. You can't use a Bitcoin ASIC for Litecoin?
I'm not sure on that.
I know SHA-250. Let's go look.
Go find out.
To Google.
The Litecoin pump was pretty chaotic to me.
Yeah, Bitcoin uses SHA-256. Okay, Litecoin uses script. Okay, well there you go. So you have to use script miners. But all right, well, so there goes that theory. So no,
I felt like it was the moment that Ben drew a hard line on Litecoin. Then it happened.
Yeah. Well, we're done. We're done with Litecoin. It's dead. All right, we're gonna pump. Yeah, it's the inverse response to the BitBoy crypto channel. Yeah. So, the Zero Hedge came out with this: mild recession is the new transitory inflation. Agree or disagree around the room?
Ooh, what do you guys think?
It's another buzzword they use, so I'm just gonna agree because whatever term they're gonna use, they're just gonna keep on saying it and saying it.
Yeah.
So we're
Or
brainwashed
just
to think it.
redefine it, whatever they need to do.
They'll change the definition.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that they're kind of building a framework around the media to pad the public's response to a long-term recession, what a long-term recession might look like, just in overall markets. I don't think that we're gonna kick back the regular stock market as quickly as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency will be able to recover. I think that the stock market and traditional economy are in for quite an uphill battle, absolutely, over the next few years. So I think that they're just kind of trying to pad the public's mindset to be able to think of it in more of a mild sense, to give them more of a long-term outlook before they go into full civil unrest, in my opinion.
I think that's a good opinion.
I forgot what it was called, but isn't it like 3 consecutive terms of this equals a recession?
2 consecutive down quarters.
Yeah.
2 consecutive quarters.
So then they just
Yeah.
changed that definition.
Yeah, they
So
did.
it's-
Yeah.
We're in a recession.
We've been in a recession.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I would I agree with Drew. It's almost a agree disagree in the sense that like I don't think it's going to be as dramatic for Bitcoin as I think they're overselling it. I think before they were trying to undersell how bad the inflation is. And that's what put us in a recession. And we were in a recession and they were saying we weren't. And now that they're saying we're going into a recession, I think they're trying to oversell it. Now,
I agree with that.
yeah, I think
Well,
they're trying
they
to
pumped
scare retail out, and then once they're positioned, and then they're going to say, "Oh, recession's over. It's great to buy stocks and stuff." When the best time to buy it was
A year
2020,
ago.
early 2023. So, and similar for Bitcoin and crypto. But again, traditional might be different. Go ahead. What do you have, Frank?
I agree with that. I had Garrett Soloway on my channel, and he was kind of saying the same thing. Like, basically just what you were saying. It's like, I couldn't agree more. When they start saying like, hey guys, like we're entering a recession, like that might be like when you're in it, right? Because they, like you said, they want to scare the retail out at the best point to get in, right? So I talked about this with Garrett Soloway a while ago on my channel. So I definitely agree with that. You don't always want to listen to them,
Right.
Typically want to counter trade them.
Well, you want to watch what they're doing. Yeah, not what they're saying.
Exactly.
Generally, they're saying the opposite of what is true and then doing X, Y, and Z. So if you watch what they do with their money, that's the easiest way to tell what's exactly going on. Mm-hmm. Which they were all selling all year when they were telling you to go buy. When there was articles about buying penny stocks and about Robinhood and GameStop and AMC, when most retail was going into the stock market, most traditional people were selling and getting into gold and bonds and cash and risk off assets. And so you were their exit liquidity. Now they're going to be buying back in, scaring all of you guys out. And it's just traditionally that's what we see. Mr. Techno Goody said all these language games call it recession versus depression versus transient versus whatever. Stuff's more expensive. Things are bad. Yep. And that's pretty, and that's part of the game they play. They change the words, they change the definition. What was a recession, like Decker was saying, or Taco, it was this, now it's that. Or what's GDP? What's a depression? What's, and it's all misdirection. So what it does is it paralyzes you in fear, and you're like, you know what? I don't know. It just sounds scary, so I should probably not do anything. And that's what they want you to do. Just sit there, stay in the system, keep just going to work, showing up, making them money, but don't buy assets, don't get ahead of inflation, don't become elite because we need you down there doing all that work.
Right.
Which is just sad.
Right. Yeah. Like one thing that comes to mind when we're talking about this is, they want, when we were on our way into the scenario we're in right now, they were saying, yeah, it's okay, keep going out, purchasing things, keep putting your money into the economy. We got to keep the velocity of money going. And then the recent shift, the major shift is now we have to squash demand. So meaning that we have to squash their public ability and wish to purchase and create that supply demand, because there's simply not the output available right now. Production is not where it was by a long shot in
Great
2020.
point.
So yeah, like it's just a word game to keep people's heads low when the right time to move is right then and there.
Absolutely. Real quick, Chemistry Bro said free USDC airdrop. I trust you, Chemistry Bro. You better not be screwing people here, but it sounds legit. Uniswap have integrated Genie.xyz, and if you ever use Genie.xyz to buy NFTs the past year, you can go to Uniswap, Connect your MetaMask now and get a free USDC airdrop. I got a nice little bag. Hey, that's cool. So if you guys have used the .xyz platform at all, you can connect your MetaMask on Uniswap. Don't follow any links to do this. Go to actual Uniswap, confirm it's Uniswap. I mean, I guess if you guys use Uniswap, you know. But just be careful there. But hey, free money's free money. So thanks for that chemistry, bro.
I was looking into genie.xyz. I think that was where you could originally buy like as many NFTs as you want in like one like transaction. I'm still waiting for my OpenSea airdrop. Where's that?
Hey.
When's that coming?
Yeah.
Man, I've only used OpenSea for NFTs and they're holding back. Or what about a MetaMask airdrop? When's that coming? That would initiate a little bull market.
Yeah, that'd be great. People love that. And Mike says, I love the crypto with a hint of the tinfoil hat topics. That's what you get here in Blockchain Basement. You're going to get our more tinfoil-y theories on Twitch because maybe you have more freedom on Twitch than you do on YouTube. I don't know.
Allegedly. We'll find out.
Supposedly.
We'll see.
Still owned by Amazon.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. No hate, just saying. That's a topic for another day, I guess.
Yeah.
But real quick, Ryan Selkis, for those of you who don't know, I believe is he the founder or the CEO of Masari? Founder of Masari, which is obviously something we use a lot around here. But calling the bottom for BTC and ETH, this is kind of on that same subject of what we were just talking about. If I'm wrong, it's because of the macro and geopolitics, not further crypto-specific weakness. We'll see. So, I mean, he's really hedging his bets there. I mean, I would agree with that 100%. Like, yeah, we're definitely at the bottom, unless the macroeconomic situation tears us up. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's a slam dunk call. But I tend to, it did echo a lot of the sentiments that were here, that we feel like crypto has gone through its downfall. I don't think we're going to see any more dramatic contagion fallout from this. He's the one I've been using a lot to keep up with the Genesis DCG stuff. I think he's an investor either in Genesis or DCG. So he's been looking through all the financials, and he's had, as far as what I could see from accurate takes on what's going on, he's given me a lot of really good information. So I tend to agree with this statement as well. I think the only way Genesis goes into bankruptcy at this point is if DCG tries to force that for strategic reasons. Like they want the market to crash further for some reason. Coming through all the financials, there's no reason this can't be resolved aside from negotiating tactics. The creditors don't want a bankruptcy, which I tend to agree with. I think, and I said that last week, I think Genesis and Genesis can be saved, Digital Currency Group can be saved, should not affect Grayscale in any way, which would align with the bottom being in, better price. Let me check, see if we're back over 17. Well, no, I just refreshed. 16,917.
I love
Sorry,
crypto.
guys. Hey, there we go. So anyway, I guess what Jerome Powell said wasn't too bad, too scary. Probably this is the people front running the next Fed meeting, I guess. So it's looking better and better. I mean, 17 is a pretty key level of support, and if we can hold that, and stay above it, for a substantial amount of time, the longer we can stay above 17, the stronger that becomes. It was a very, very strong support. Obviously, we lost it a little while ago. It's become a resistance at this point, and if we can hold above it. I mean, what was the level you were looking at, Frank? You're the trading guy.
Yeah. So can you actually pull up that chart?
Yes. Like 17.5.
Yes, 17.5 is the key level. So there you go. The value area high comes in between about 17,000 and about 17,200, and then if we could get above there and crack that 786 right above it, if you scroll up, what was that? Yeah. So 17,580. If we can break that, things could get really exciting. And similar to what I brought up on the morning show, those daily bullish divergences on the higher daily timeframes, if those confirm, it would make a lot of sense to get that big move up. We have that massive volume gap. I talk about these all the time, and they almost always play out. Not 100% of the time, but they're very reliable. If we can crack these levels, things can get moving very, very quickly. So
yeah,
it would make a lot of sense.
Hellfire sponsored he's looking at a short around 17.1 to 3. Does that make, like, basically he's looking to get rejected off of that 17.2 number?
Yeah. So if we do get into the upper end of that white box, what it does is it gives us a higher high. You can see the high where we got rejected at the value area. And if we can get to the top of that white box, or maybe even the 786, what it'll do is it could set us up for some bearish divergence on the medium hourly timeframes, which could potentially give us a move to the downside, but it could just be a healthy move down before continuing up. But that would sit the 786 level at about 17,000. 16,500, and even the top of that white box, similar to what they were saying, around 17.2 would be decent places to start looking for some shorts.
I have a question from D-Bear. What space inside crypto has biggest upside, do you think? NFTs, DeFi, metaverse, etc.
DeFi has traditionally been the thing, and I think it will be for a long time, because if you think about incentives, right, there's going to be the highest incentive on financial products, and most money to be made. That being said, it's not necessarily retail friendly or facing, if that makes sense. You're talking financial instruments, financial products. That will, I think, always lead innovation. Maybe not always, but at least for the foreseeable future. What were the other ones? NFTs, Metaverse. I think I'm going to say, Web3 games and decentralized social media as being, and I think we were talking, I can't remember, I had something else last time, but I see decentralized, I was looking last night, I think decentralized social media it has potential to be a big catalyst in the next 2024, 2025 bull market. That being said, I thought it was going to do that in 2021 and it didn't. So,
someone else said gaming's got a lot of room to
I think gaming and decentralized social media will be the new things for retail.
I couldn't agree more. We're even seeing like decentralized social media. Like I agree with you, TJ. Like we're already seeing, you have the Andrew Tates, the Steve Will Do It's, right? They're getting kicked off YouTube. They're getting sick of being censored. And they're moving over to Rumble. And I don't know, is Rumble I believe is, yeah, they're all moving over to Rumble. I think, and now Logan Paul also thinking about moving over to Rumble if he hasn't already. I haven't really been keeping up with it, but he's starting to there's murmurs about him maybe moving over. If Logan Paul moves to Rumble and eventually transitions off of YouTube, I think that's going to severely damage YouTube and it's going to open up the floodgates to decentralized social media. 100%.
I agree. And I think what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter pushes that envelope, it puts the pressure back on those tech companies to innovate in that department again. And if he can do it well, we'll start seeing it emulated. We'll start seeing the startups in that space get bought up by the major players and get them worked in. Semnan, 2025. I think that's when we're going to see peak, blow off top for alts and all that kind of stuff. 2024/25 for the next bull market. Gaming is so small still. NFT crypto based gaming will have its own $1 trillion market cap within 10 years. I think. Yeah, within 10 years, I could see that $1 trillion market. I mean, the people massively underestimate the size of the gaming industry and the impact it has. How much somebody was throwing some numbers on YouTube when it comes to gaming and that kind of stuff. Like, it's a incredible industry. I mean, it blew my mind when I want to say, and this was years ago. This was probably 2019 that I heard this fact, that it was something like the gaming industry dwarfs movies, music, one other thing combined. Gaming blows it away. And you think the music industry is big, right? You think the movie industry is big. It ain't anything compared to the gaming industry, and especially on an international level. And as we're moving more and more and more to an international society, whether you like it or not, we are moving towards a global economy. And, blockchain does that for the world, which I think has a lot of positives. We just have to make sure the WEFs of the world don't get their way and use it to further control the entire world, which unfortunately is what it is the trend.
I think we should check out the Bitcoin chart again just for some fun. This is getting spicy.
Oh, yeah, it is. Look at that. Look at that candle.
There it goes.
We're on the way into that value area high. Wow. Yeah, you throwing that short in there, bro? You still feeling confident? Come on, 17,126. Let's see it.
Oh, man.
Watch what Dr. Disrespect does with the Midnight Society. What is I need Joel in here. He's my Dr. Disrespect.
Dr. Disrespect is like next level Twitch.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say back to like the gaming numbers. I was even just like blown away by like the viewership of esports. Like I think TJ, you gave me some crazy statistics on the viewership of esports. Absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that big. They're filling giant stadiums for League of Legends. I had no idea it was that big.
Yeah.
Oh, and CDL, like I think Call of Duty League and stuff, and speak briefly on the NFT thing. I think a lot of
point it at your face.
Oh, sorry. I think it's a lot of the NFT sentiment that is pushing down the NFT market right now. Nobody wants to get into a market that they feel right now is just taking an absolute beating and develop things. And so like all the camos in Call of Duty, they could totally be NFTs that are minted every time you earn them. And there could be secondary sales and they would make money off of it. but I bet you they don't want to touch it just because as soon as they do, it's like, oh my God, there's NFTs, and everybody freaks out.
Look at that look that Frankie
He's very hot.
Whoa,
Drew, you weren't supposed to zoom out.
Jeez. I'm just trying to use that opportunity.
We're family.
On this-
Anyway, that's
so.
my little scoop on NFTs.
On this whole like gaming, NFTs, and like mass adoption, you saw what happened with like Pokemon Go. Imagine like blockchain is integrated into a game that blows up to that scale. And to Decker's point, all these leagues and things that are already there and established, if they can open the door to blockchain and NFTs, it's going to really expand the ecosystem to, like have ownership over your items, transferring items, and just like bring crypto and gaming together.
Yeah, 100% agree. And Razmataz mentioned Telegram launching a wallet index. That's pretty big. And we're starting to see more and more messaging application, communication applications getting involved in crypto. Telegram originally, they had a token when they very first launched. That was a big, I think it was it Telcoin? Or Telcoin's its own thing. I can't remember what it was called, but
the SEC got mad at them. And
they had to file they had a big settlement or whatever. See, I took my order. I'm short at 17,111. Hey, I like that number.
All right.
Short at 17,111. We'll have to keep an eye on Hellfire Spawn. Hopefully you land that scalp. We need a World of Warcraft and League of Legends on the blockchain. I agree. A massive online and a kind of arena style game that hits, I think, would crush Toncoin. That's what it was.
Like what's happening is all of these projects, they're starting from almost scratch. So it's trying to grow like exponentially with something that only has maybe like 3,000 holders. It's going to have to be opposite. It's going to have to be these big game developers, companies that implement this technology in order to get more people onboarded.
Right.
It's not going to be the other way around. I mean, Yuga Labs has probably done the furthest job of like getting as many eyes on their like other side, their metaverse they're building, but still it's not done yet, and only 100,000 plots of land with only 30,000 holders, so it's not enough.
Yeah,
it's gonna have more.
It's gonna take some development. Ralphie 227, what gaming projects are you keeping an eye on? Do you have any gaming projects you like or you've been playing and enjoying, Taco?
Well, I used to play the Eververse hoverboard racing game. That was pretty cool. They were adding new maps and stuff. I was playing Bomb Crypto. That wasn't really like an active game you play. It was more like almost like mining on like a cool user interface. But right now, not really.
Oh, Decker's got one.
Not too many games.
I would say me and Johnny, one of the awesome researchers here, we play this game called Dimension X, and it's a browser-based like. Did anybody play Cookie Clicker back in the day?
Oh yeah.
So, it's kind of idle and you don't play it all the time, but you can like set up. So anyway, long story short, it has really great pixel art and you fight these bosses and you have to put the cards in certain areas to like maximize them. And then you get crypto and then you can mint new NFTs. It's actually really cool. And I like it because one, it's not trying to be more than it is, not trying to be like next AAA crushing, project. And it also is idle, so it's not like something you have to be on all the time.
Right. Chemistry Bro said we just need at least one MOBA, one FPS, one Battle Royale, and then we're good. That are good and fun to play crypto/NFT games, and the narrative will shift and major adoption starts through those actually good games, which I believe 100%. Also, we see you, TBC Robin. Welcome to the basement. You're welcome to hang out in here as long as you would like to. Obviously, you're not forced to be here, and you are welcome to leave whenever you would like as well. So, just follow the rules, and you can stay. If you're a dick, we're going to kick you out. So that's just how it goes. Yeah, welcome.
Hey, what's up, man?
Last question. Ravenboy Crypto said, what car for everyone? What car will you guys be buying next bull run?
So here we are. The year's 2025. Bitcoin price is $250,000. We're all millionaires. A new car is just like, you know what? We've got plenty of money. We don't need anything else. Taco, what's your purchase?
Cybertruck.
Oh, nice. He's getting the Tesla Cybertruck. I like it. Drew, what do you got?
I'm throwing a V8 LS engine into my Toyota FJ Cruiser, and I'm armoring it.
An LS swap on the FJ Cruiser? You're talking like bulletproof windows, panels, the whole nine?
The underbelly too. Half-inch steel on the underbelly. We're going to turn it into a British SAS turtle. So
Decker, you gonna supercharge the Fiat?
No, oh my gosh. Well, that just reminds.
That
I
would
mean,
be so fun.
Fiat 500 Abarth Baposto, but that wasn't what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say was the Acura NSX, the Type R's, or the new
Okay.
Acura NSXs.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're so nice, but they're like 400 G's, so they're not cheap.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're doing it in a bull market. You got to take those profits, Frank.
Listen, Bitcoin at 250K, dream car, matte black Lamborghini Aventador. However, GTR, also another one of my dream cars, but I don't want a GTR. I want your GTR.
want mine? Well-
TJ's GTR is worked.
That's what-
It is worked unbelievably. It is so fast and it sounds so perfect. That is one of the most perfect cars I've ever been in or heard or seen.
I do love
That was Corey
it's
Hardin's
insane.
answer as
Corey
well.
said
He
the
said
same thing.
TJ's GTR from him.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, there's going to be a battle here because Johnny tells me almost every single day. He's like, hey, whenever you buy another car, TJ, next bull run, whatever your next bull run car is, I'm buying your GTR or taking your GTR. So there's going to be a battle, maybe a Frank versus Johnny battle or
Yeah,
maybe.
TJ's GTR is special. Trust me.
It is. It's fun. And it's got some good little bells and whistles on it too, which make it fun. And a good tune goes a long way too. I mean, I remember the very first thing they did a few. So Iran, shout out to Mr. Iran Schmeeds. We'll have to get him. He said he'd come on the basement, by the way. So we're gonna have to get him on a basement episode. We see you out there, Iran. He's in my Instagram DMs all the time. So, but he picked it. I don't know if he picked it up or wherever he got it from. Right after we got the work done, because he went with me when we first bought it. Drove it back with me. I let him drive it the first day we got it, and then drove it after we had done those additions. He was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what they did to your car, but it is way faster. So, and it definitely makes a difference. So there were some good answers in the chat too. Range Rover Sport, M5 Comp, just a Chevy.
Someone said a house.
A house, always a good place. Yeah, DMs are popping. Shout out to. By the way, if you guys didn't see my meme that I put on there yesterday, it was classic of it was the SEC or government SEC looking at, Congress people doing inside trading. I don't remember FTX scandal, hustling billions of dollars and completely blind. And then your $600 Venmo transaction, get out the binoculars. We need to know what's going on. And so, yeah, we had a
one
guy
really made
from the
me laugh.
Padres that cracked up. He said he was going to have to reshare it. So Jacob Nix, I guess. And I was thinking, it might be fun to start getting some of those guys to call in and
Absolutely.
see what-
Follow at Hit Network on Instagram and your Twitter handle. What's your Twitter?
Also Hit Network.
Hit Network.
So at Hit Network. I mean, there's one of them has an underscore at the end. One of them says official, but ask your mom.
Do you own both of those accounts?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Okay, I didn't know if one was fake and one was real.
No, I'm talking Twitter. I think Hit Network underscore is Twitter.
I'm pretty sure that's
And
Okay.
then on Instagram, it's Hit Network official.
Okay,
But they
okay.
both start with Hit Network. So yeah, let's see if I thought I had one more question, but I guess I don't.
Yeah, we covered the miners. We covered them organically.
Yeah, I mean, this was worth noting. We can go ahead and pull this up. I mean, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Minor capitulation is almost always one of the last signs of the bull or the bear market. We're seeing the third highest Bitcoin miner selling / capitulation of all time. The level of Bitcoin miner stress today is second only by two other occasions. The other two times, Bitcoin was just $290 back in 2015. And get this, $2.10 back in 2011. These were the only two times we've seen this much selling pressure from miners. Which, if I pull this, well, that's not going to make that. That's way too difficult. Yeah, here you go. You can see along the bottom here. That's miners selling in 2011, miners selling in 2015, and then look at this spike. Whoosh. They were holding out as long as they could, trying to survive through this bear market. But they're just too many expenses coming up. They had to sell, which again is one of the last markers of a bottom signal. I mean, we can always look at Glassnode as well.
Man,
Just looking at that last chart, it almost seems like was that just that miners moves or all miners?
That was all miners.
All miners. So it seems like almost all the miners weren't really selling too much at all time high.
No, it doesn't look like it.
they're holding.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So let me pull this.
Maybe they
up
don't
real
have
quick.
as much of a impact as they used to.
Frankie.
I think I remember early BitBoy talking about the Nupal, them dumping on the market. I don't really hear too much about that anymore.
Wait, the Nupal.
F2 pool.
F2 pool. Yeah.
Those are
Nupal-
fun days.
Nupal is this chart I'm looking at right here. It stands for net unrealized profit and loss. And what it shows, I don't know why it doesn't give the whole.
I was gonna say, Frankie, could this move upward be a huge bull trap?
Yes, it 100% could be. No way to know for sure. I wish I haven't actually sat down and looked at the chart in a little while. But I will update my Discord in once we get off here. So
we're almost done.
Frankie Candles.
So yeah, if you guys aren't following Frankie Candles on YouTube, definitely do that. There is a link to his Discord on that YouTube page. Go subscribe to the YouTube, follow it to the Discord, and then you'll get an update from this guy in just a few minutes. So I did want to look at this. Is something I was looking at this morning. Typically, you see these legend down here: capitulation, hope, fear, optimism / anxiety, belief, euphoria. We've seen it play out multiple times on the chart where, obviously this is the Bitcoin price and this is adjusted for, it's an index and it's not necessarily a dollar price, but you can see here, generally speaking, in this orange range or this kind of hope and fear range is kind of real market value a lot of times. And then you see that deep drop off. We saw the deep drop here to capitulation, the deep drop here to capitulation. And then we were same thing. Boom. Deep drop here into capitulation. Oh, wait, you can't see over there. Hold on, guys.
so close.
Just a
There
little bit more.
All right. Well, we can't see all the way to the right, but that basically deep capitulation here, and you can see where the price kind of falls off very similarly sideways and then goes back up. And then, so we're starting, and we were looking at these earlier where you get this drop. So frustrating. You guys can't see it. All right. I guess you guys all have to go get your own account for Glassnode because
Move the.
I can't. Oh, this way? I don't think that. Are you on a?
What was that?
It wants in there.
No, it just keeps adjust. It's something with the way it's going to adjust the way it's capturing the tab. So, Drew is heavy metal vocalist that listens to Alanis Morissette. Oh, that was you answering yourself. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what kind of music? What kind of music do you like, Frank?
I listen to mostly hip hop.
There you go. Hip Hop Anonymous, and we are pulling back to 1763 right now. So that's shorts and profit.
Yeah, shorts and profit. I guess. Let's go.
Hey,
Frank looks like a J. Cole guy.
Oh, J. Cole.
That's accurate.
Yeah. I like J. Cole.
I like J. Cole.
Also, right now, big Russ guy. If you guys don't listen to Russ, shout out to Atlanta.
Yeah. I like
Russ is
too.
big. Also, really getting into Lil Baby lately. Lil Baby's fire.
He is. He's good. I like a lot of hip hop. I like pretty much everything. I listen to a lot of hip hop. I listen to not a lot of country. Basically not country, but pretty much everything else. So sorry, country people.
hey, what about Conway Twitty though, man? The old school country. Get real old school.
Oh yeah,
Throw that out there. Oh.
good stuff.
Taco, what do you like?
I've been listening to the new Drake album.
Okay.
Oh,
But I usually listen to this mix on like Apple Music called Dance XL. It just has a bunch of songs that just change all the time, and it's like upbeat, like tempo, like high intensity sometimes, like house music.
House music. There you go. Yeah. Chemistry Bro said, I love Chili Peppers. So TJ, when you and Ben told me the Chili Peppers gym story, that made me sad. Yeah.
Oh,
True story. We actually have not been playing Red Hot. We finally, it took us about a year of complaining that all they did was play Red Hot Chili Peppers on a loop. Now they don't do it anymore. Thank the Lord. I think what it was is it was stuck on the owner's Spotify preferences, and all he listens to is classic rock and Red Hot Chili Peppers. So Californication doesn't really get you going when you're trying to work out. So it's just, I don't know. It was very strange gym music that they used to play, but I like Red Hot Chili Peppers. But it did get played over and over and over when you're working. Mac Miller, great choice. Let's see. All right, well,
love Mac Miller.
We'll just keep going and going and going. But anyway, if you guys,
We're raiding.
oh yeah, we got to raid. Is Hit Network Gaming on?
Nope. raided.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna raid Crypto K King. He's
Crypto
live.
K King. Yeah, that'd be a good one, guys. If you see this anywhere else, do all the things: follow, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends, hang out in the basement, come chat with us in the future.
Yes.
Be nice to Crypto King.
Have a great
I was
day.
actually
Have a great
talking
day.
to him.
Stack
Crypto
stats.
King.
Yeah, nice.
He's a
Cool.
nice guy.
There you
All
go.
right,
He's a
we're
nice
going
guy.
in.
Let's go.